Good afternoon. This week's devotion is a temporary goodbye. When a TV show I like breaks for summer, I'm sad, but I know I'm going to see it again next fall, unless they canceled it. Then I'm really sad. But I know even a canceled show is going to come back in reruns or in streaming, and I can use the time to catch up on stuff that I missed, check out the movies I missed during the pandemic, and even try some shows that I didn't have time to try during the season. And I look forward to what new shows may appear and become my new favorite. Today we had our last Presbyterian women's study. We celebrated with a nice lunch together. It's sad, but we know that we'll get the new study for next fall, and I will be preparing it when we come back together again. We will have Vacation Bible School to keep us busy in the meantime. We know it's just a temporary goodbye. I think that's what Jesus is trying to get across to the disciples in our John passage for this week. Jesus knows that he will soon be arrested and crucified. He knows that his disciples will run away in fear. As many times as he told them what was going to happen, Jesus knows that they really aren't where they can understand yet. Not only will they have to get by for 3 days that Jesus is in the tomb, but not long after that, he will ascend to heaven and they will be on their own. How can Jesus get across to them that it's only a temporary goodbye? How can he let them know that they will be together again in heaven and they will never have to say goodbye again? Here is John 14, verses 25 through 27, to try and help them in their wait. I have said these things to you while I am still with you. But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all that I have said to you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid. Jesus doesn't give as the world gives. I like that thought. Because when the world gives me a great TV show that I love or a great book study, I know that as much as I love it, it's going to end. That special moment in time where you are in a Bible study with friends will never come again. Yes, we will gather again, but the people may change, and it's going to be a different study. It's not going to be the same. And it shouldn't. We grow. People move away. New friends come. It's all a part of our journey. Jesus' death and resurrection and ascension into heaven were also part of the journey. But there's a difference. Jesus sends the Holy Spirit to be with us in this in-between time. He gives us peace and promises that we will be together again. We are not to let our hearts be troubled, and we are not to be afraid. Jesus' goodbye is a temporary goodbye. We have the promise that we will be together again. Of course, the disciples didn't really believe it. They were afraid. They were sad. They were surprised to see Jesus when he had risen. But Jesus still sent them the Holy Spirit in the midst of their doubts. Even though they had trouble believing, Jesus is faithful. Jesus is God, and God always keeps his promises. I think that is very good news, because sometimes I fail too. Sometimes I don't understand. Sometimes I have trouble believing. And when I lose someone, sometimes my heart breaks, because even though I know Jesus promised we will be with them again, I'm still sad. And sometimes I'm still afraid. Reading the story of the disciples helps me to know that's okay. Jesus forgave them of their weakness. He forgave them for their fears and for their unbelief. And he's going to forgive us too. Jesus will send the Spirit to be with us, to guide us, and promises that we will be together again. Jesus promised that this is a temporary goodbye, and we can trust that. Have a blessed week. Well, Shadow,